and welcome to Light Reading with your author and host, Terri Kovalcik. Today I am going to read to you Chapter 4 from The Age of Dawn, The Prophecy, Part 1. Here's your cover. And these can be found on any Amazon website. Chapter 4. It was the piercing, echoing cries of the griffins that caught Malvin's attention, not the fact that Prince Aragorn from Dover was walking towards them at Bolio as they approached King Frederick's kingdom. "Malvin, what a relief it is to find thee on my way to thy kingdom. Dover is in peril, and the mystical creatures from the ancient forest are coming out wreaking havoc in my father's land." Malvin nodded. "Yes, I hear them. We shall come to thy aid and fix these wrongdoings. Sir Elan, would thee take Queen Guinevere back to Camelot for me?" Sir Elan answered, "My army and I are going to Dover with thee to bring aid to our fellow neighbors." King Frederick spoke up. "I'll take thy queen back. I'll make sure no harm comes to her. Be safe out there, my friends." Prince Aragorn, Malvin, Sir Elan, and the army of knights and soldiers made ready to take the long trek to Dover. The Prince of Dover remarked, "It took 3 days just to get here under the cover of darkness and shadows to avoid any danger." Malvin knew the men wouldn't be in top form if they were to travel by land. His eyes flickered icicle blue. From the four corners upon the four winds, unearthly magic swirl and bound by chaos and law. The magic's whisper of oblivion, and serenity omens, light and dark foretold of magic's arrival. Take us there. A cloud of smoke enveloped the keepers of justice, billowing, then dissipating. Sir Elan opened his eyes with great amazement. "What a relief that thee art here, Malvin, to ease our quests." Malvin smiled. "Yes, many good deeds can be done with magic." King Lot was waiting at the bottom of the entrance to the castle, anxiously awaiting his son's arrival. "Aragorn, my son, I'm happy to see thee are safe and back so soon from retrieving health." Aragorn replied, "Yes, father, I happened upon Malvin in Bolio. Tell me, has it worsened?" King Lot sadly answered, "Yes, I sent scouts to report back, and they say that in the ancient forest, the magical creatures are preparing to war against one another. I'm told that it looks like centaurs and minotaurs have turned up against golden-eyed eagles and griffins, flying from above, dropping boulders in front of a group of trees, while one black unicorn stands in the tree line." Malvin asked, "When was that?" King Lot stated, "I received that report within an hour. I have many scouts waiting to advise me every hour or so on the situation. Thee have no idea how relieved I am to see thee, Malvin. I wasn't sure what I was going to do if it worsened." Malvin did not appear surprised, pressing his lips together. "I shall see what is going on when the moon is at its peak. For now, if thee don't mind, our troops are weary from a previous battle not 3 days ago." King Lot bowed slightly, and with a welcoming gesture, "Please follow me, and I'll make sure thee have everything is needed provided." For 3 hours, the castle staff were running in boiling water for all the nights. About midway through fetching water, a splendid feast was prepared that wafted into the crevices and nooks, creating rumbling stomachs. After dinner, Malvin excused himself and retired to his room, rejuvenated his spiritual calling. It was almost midnight when Malvin came out of his meditative trance and set off to call Melgar away from peering eyes. "My mighty and powerful dragon, I am in need of thy aid once more. Our ancient creatures are in disarray." Gently landing in front of Malvin, Melgar waited patiently while his equal climbed on. Malvin whispered, "Friend, we need to see what's happening in the ancient forest." With an aerial view, Malvin saw where the torches of where the messengers were dispatched, with one returning to the castle by horse. The Minotaur and Centaur army was located in the upper left of the hemlock tree region, while in the redwood ring of the trees were Minotaurs and Centaurs alternating, closing in on the completely encompassed mystical spirit trees by the griffins. Golden-eyed eagles scattered themselves among the spirit trees that formed a shell around the ancient and largest tree. that was also surrounded by white unicorns with wings and one long black-winged unicorn. Melvin dismounted his loyal guardian in the open field in the upper right of the region and made his way over to the Minotaur and Centaur camp. Now, I know that you may not be able to see, but I had to draw a map of where everything was located so that I didn't miss it, and so I can be described accurately. So, anyways, okay, he was watching them prepare for battle by sharpening their swords and battle axes. Some Minotaurs were putting on full leather padded armor, while Centaurs had a basic metal chest piece with matching forearms and bands. Melvin did not have a sense that evil had a total grasp of their hearts as he watched them casually go about their activities. He made his way to where the scouts and messengers were closest to the field. Upon entering the hidden shelter, he whispered, "So what's been going on?" Excuse me. The scout replied, "I've been watching them accumulate. They know, just gathering in forces, and it seems like in the redwood forest they're staggered like a clock, alternating between Centaur and Minotaur. It is like they are waiting for others." Melvin asked, "What about the griffins, golden-eyed eagles, and black unicorns?" The scout answered, some of the griffins have been dropping boulders, kind of like building a wall. I've been hearing reports they are gathering forces, except there has only been one black unicorn, and he has not rested since he landed here 3 days ago when all this started happening." Melvin questioned, "How do they know it's a stallion?" The scout smiled. "I saw him rear up in front of the white unicorns, and they bent at me and literally bowed. If I didn't know better, I'd say they did some pretty human acts, but that's not possible because they're just unicorns." Melvin wisely remarked, "They are one of the most powerful and mystical creatures in this land, and for them to be protecting the ancient tree of harmony with the aid of the other flight-able animals, a powerful evil must be closing in." The scout blushed. "I do not know of such things. I am ignorant. Forgive me, sire." Melvin nodded his head. These are things that only persons such as myself would know. Consider thyself to be blessed to see these sacred animals. This will be my 3rd time that I have encountered a unicorn, and it was only a white one with no wings to take flight." The scout's eyes widened. "Oh, sire, would thee like me to take ye to a safe crossing area to have a closer look at the unicorns? It would be my honor to take thee there." Melvin responded, "My good man, I would love to see them from the ground. Lead the way." Melvin followed the scout, replicating every purposeful step past the Centaur and Minotaur. When they were closing in on the griffin line, the scout whispered, "The last time I was here, there was not as many griffins. I think this is the furthest we can go." Melvin whispered, "Stay here, and I'll be back to fetch thee." Melvin cautiously made his way up to the griffins. He bowed at the waist, his head almost touching the ground in a gesture of humbling respect. A griffin acknowledged him by bowing and creating the entry point for Melvin. The wizard stood and slowly gestured for his companion to come forth, and they passed through safely. The scout graciously bowed before the bronze-feathered magical birds of protection. The griffin bowed while the scout took the sign to enter into an unfamiliar territory. Mystical spirit trees took human shape by using their orange, green, red, and white flower petals swirling to float and appear to walk. They smiled at Melvin. A few gently wrapped their flower petal fingertips around his face, leaving pollen of unknown effects on his beard. Others stroked the hair on the scout, while others took him by the hand, hurrying the inevitable encounter with the one and only black-winged unicorn. Melvin smiled as he danced a Gaelic tune with an orange petal mystical tree spirit, while red, white, and green clapped gaily, as if the world was in perfect order. Dancing closer and closer to the white unicorns, the trees blew kisses and floated back to their defensive positions. The scout was enjoying a very unique opportunity to pet and discover this magnificent horse-like creature up close. "Thee are a handsome one, aren't thee?" "Yes, I think thee are. Thy coat shines under the moonlight, and it feels smooth as satin. Thy feathers remind me of thy fancy quills my messengers often told." The black unicorn shuddered, nudged the scout, and walked towards Thank thee for seeing, my humble son. The stallion neighed, while nodding his head, acknowledging his superiority to the old and wise sorcerer who bent at halfway, showing his respect. The black beauty spread his right wing and guided Melvin swiftly to the center of all things that kept him balanced. Melvin gently put his hands on the tree and listened, concentrated on the core of life, affectionately rubbing the pollen from his beard off onto the soft, pliable bark that absorbed it like a slightly damp sponge. Melvin closed his eyes for one moment, and when he opened them, the scout and he were back at the shelter where the messenger fainted at the sight of them. Fainted at the sight of him. Melvin wasted no time and mounted his dragon that waited for him and flew back to a safe landing zone. Melvin stumbled several times in the darkness, running to the castle to discuss the battle plan. In the morning, Melvin found the king of Dover, Princes Alon and Aragorn sitting at the table enjoying the breakfast feast set before them. "Good morning, thy majesties," King Lot asked. "So, what is happening over there? Tell us what you are to do." Melvin nodded. "Well, it seems that there is one more major player in this battle that has yet to arrive, and I would like to think that it will be when we arrive." Prince Aragorn's eyes bulged. "Do thee mean there will be more?" Melvin answered, pacing back and forth, no longer able to focus on nourishing his body. "Yes, but this is quite the delicate battle we are to embark upon. Thee see, everything is connected. So that means, while it appears as though the centaur and Minotaur race are against the griffins, golden-eye eagles, and all the unicorns, they are in fact part of the balance that keeps good and evil apart. We cannot afford to wage war heedlessly against these beings. If we war against them now, we may never know how large their numbers are. Once evil calls upon the heart, it does not take into account how many will be left once his evil bidding has been accomplished." The royal families agreed and began to think of the other solutions while Melvin decided to take the moment and eat the wonderful meal presented. He listened to the men talk back and forth rapidly, coming up with ideas for all the intents and purposes were perfect if they weren't dealing with an evil wizard seeking out to destroy every pure soul, turning them into a senseless death. Melvin finished eating, moved the chair to the back, and stood up. "I need to gather some supplies from the market. I'll see thee gentlemen later." King Lot panicked. "What about the creatures?" Melvin casually replied, standing at the doorway. "Don't worry, they won't do anything without my presence. Nothing to fear about that." Some of the knights were waiting for Melvin when he exited the castle. Sir Kina stated, "The market appears to be just like in Camelot." And there would be the market. Melvin smiled. "Yes, that is one of the nice things about allied kingdoms. They decided it would make for easier trading if there was a standard market structure at the center of the imposing walls that protected the majority of their lands." Sir Thomas replied, "I am happy to partake in seeing the delights this market has to offer. I shall go with thee, Melvin." Melvin nodded, and they set off to find the list of ingredients needed to create a variety of potions that he may need. They smelled the bakery coming from the opposite end of the market, which created the need to walk straight towards the smell of freshly baked bread until Melvin saw the variety of vials on his right. Seeing many potions that he did not have, some that he hadn't heard of in a very long time, he purchased so many that luckily a leather shoe and bag started making the transition easier for the newly acquired concoction. Melvin made his way, weaving between booths of clothing, dairy, glass, and chimes, winery, trinkets, wool, grains, purchasing items as he needed them, filling his bags. Satisfied that he had all that was required, Melvin set off to find King Lot. Prince Aragorn was walking down the hallway when Melvin saw him. "Thy Majesty, it's good to see thee." He replied, "It is good indeed. Did thee find everything that thee were looking for at the market?" Melvin grinned. "That and then some more. Is there a place I can create my remedies for the battle?" The prince responded, "But of course, if thee will follow me, I believe I have the perfect room for thee." Melvin followed him to the kitchen, where there was a clean table waiting for his supplies to clutter. Thank thee, this is brilliant. Prince Aragorn nodded. I shall leave thee to thy business. The moon was at its fullest by the time Melvin created a variety of healing, enchantment, timeless, the spell, and a few experimental concoctions. Now that he knew exactly where all the animals were located, he was able to teleport where he took one of his timeless potions and carefully let small drops as he created a ring around the sacred forest. Moon, dark and pale, glowing chill as the verses of magic's whisper, sinisterly through the haunted forest of the druids as the hypnotizing, paralyzing fear grips. The ominous roar of the wizards echoed. Then he teleported to the black unicorn and greeted him accordingly. The stallion did not appear surprised as Melvin performed the same painstaking task of dispersing droplets from an experimental potion he created. Winds, as turbulent as the seven seas, flow, carrying the whispers of the raven throughout the shadowy night. Something from the magic realm comes. With this task complete, Melvin teleported to his chambers to rest his weary body. Deep in slumber, King Arminian whispered, Melvin, my tired old man, thee must get up. Melvin, are thee listening? It is time to prepare for battle. Rise, my fine soldier, and we shall fight the good fight. Melvin mumbled while waving his hand at a pesky fly buzzing around his face. Leave me be, I'm sleeping. King Arminian whispered, Rise, my fine soldier, now is the time to war. Melvin shook the sleep from his head, stretched, rose out of bed, and got ready for the day. With everyone waiting on his arrival, he felt slightly embarrassed. Good morning, this old body can't move about some mornings like the young lad thee are. The nurse chuckled, and Sir Keegan greeted, Come sit over here and enjoy the sustenance set before us while we discuss our battle plan. Melvin nodded and joined the table of men. He was serene, casually adding food to his plate, filling his cup and savoring each morsel of food while everyone was waiting for him to speak. Swallowing, taking a drink, he cleared his throat, placed the cup on the table, putting his head against the back of the chair. I have done what I can to protect the forest. We should not have a problem with Minotaur and Centaur. Sir Hector was puzzled. So that's it? We're here for nothing? Melvin responded, No, there will be a battle, and it will show up on the open field. King Lot asked, When is that going to be? Melvin answered, As soon as everybody's packed and ready to go. I need to grab my satchels, mount my steed, and every man at the table scraped the chairs against the floor as they hurried toward the door and got ready for war. Melvin chuckled at the sight, calmly getting up, collecting his things, and found them waiting for him. King Lot passed the reins of the wizard's horse over, and the army of knights was set off for the open field to wage war against whatever evil that waited for them. It did not take long for the troop to see their true enemy waiting for them, men of the underground. Melvin commented, It seems as though our adversary has been busy. The knights rushed the opposing line on horses, slaying each enemy that approached, trying to rip them off their horses. The second line of knights with full battle armor rushed in, unsheathed swords, and using their shields as a battering ram, they surged against the screams of the foulest creatures, broke the silence of harmony. Griffins took flight from the inside of the forest, using their talons they carefully picked up Melvin's archers, gliding over the enemy lines. The archers were shocked at first, but realized this was Melvin's doing. Started using their crossbows and arrows, impaled the conjured beasts. The most vilest of sounds echoed for miles, like a man being burned alive, starting at the hands and slowly spreading, encompassing his singeing flesh. Minotaur, Centaur, do the worst! Centaur and Minotaur rushed to the battlefield and slew the remaining men of the underground that were not fleeing the scene. The voice screamed, Retreat! The armies, chasing all them to the wall of stacked boulders where they camped, and made plans to overtake the kingdom of Alisport. The end. Thank you for tuning in. And again, you can find this on any Amazon website. And this has been written by Terri Kovalcik and contributions by Brian Mobility. He's the one who has did the spells. So, anyways, I hope you were entertained. Are you not entertained? Like Russell Crowe says, I'm a gladiator. Have a great day.